The most appropriate site for a capillary collection in a 2-month-old infant is A. Index finger, B. Heel lateral surface, C. Earlobe, D. Thumb pad. Answer B. The lateral or medial plantar heel surface is safest for infants under 6 months due to minimal risk of bone injury. Before performing venipuncture on a 6-year-old, the phlebotomist should first A. Apply tourniquet immediately, B. Explain the procedure in simple words, C. Restrain the child tightly, D. Ask parent to leave the room. Answer B. Age-appropriate communication helps reduce fear and ensures cooperation. The maximum puncture depth for a heel stick in infants should not exceed A. 1 mm, B. 1.5 mm, C. 2.0 mm, D. 2.5 mm. Answer B. A puncture deeper than 1.5 mm risks penetrating bone and causing osteomyelitis. A pediatric patient's heel appears cyanotic in cold. The phlebotomist should A. Proceed immediately, B. Massage the heel gently to warm it, C. Use alcohol only, D. Perform venipuncture instead. Answer B. Warming improves capillary blood flow and reduces collection errors. When performing capillary collection, which sample is drawn first? A. EDTA tube, B. Serum tube, C. Sodium citrate tube, D. Fluoride tube. Answer A. EDTA is collected first in capillary draws to avoid platelet clumping and cell distortion. If a pediatric patient starts crying intensely during collection, the main concern is A. Increased heart rate, B. Hemolysis due to stress hormones, C. Hemoconcentration, D. Tube underfilling. Answer C. Crying elevates cellular concentration, leading to hemoconcentration and inaccurate results. The safest needle gauge for pediatric venipuncture is A. 18 gauge, B. 21 gauge, C. 23 gauge, D. 25 gauge. Answer C. A 23 gauge butterfly minimizes trauma and prevents vein collapse in small veins. The best way to restrain a toddler during blood draw is A. Wrap tightly in a blanket, B. Use the parent's help to gently hold, C. Use physical straps, D. Perform without restraint. Answer B. Parental assistance provides comfort and secure positioning without physical distress. When collecting blood from a newborn, the first drop should be A. Collected immediately, B. Wiped away with gauze, C. Mixed with anticoagulant, D. Placed directly in the tube. Answer B. The first drop may contain tissue fluid, wiping ensures specimen accuracy. The correct order of draw for pediatric venipuncture is A. Coagulation, EDTA, serum, B. Serum, coagulation, EDTA, C. Blood culture, coagulation, serum, D. EDTA, serum, coagulation. Answer C. Blood cultures are always collected first to prevent contamination. The most common complication during infant heel puncture is A. Hematoma, B. Osteomyelitis, C. Nerve damage, D. Arterial puncture. Answer A. Improper pressure or squeezing after puncture often causes hematoma formation. To prevent pain during venipuncture, topical anesthetic should be applied. A. Immediately before puncture, B. 30 to 60 minutes before procedure, C. After cleaning site. D. Never on infants. Answer B. Anesthetics require time to numb the skin and are safe when applied correctly. The maximum volume of blood drawn from a child should not exceed A. 5% of total blood volume per day. B. 10% of total blood volume per day. C. 2% per hour. D. 20% per day. Answer A. Drawing more than 5% can cause anemia or cardiovascular instability. Capillary puncture is contraindicated in a child with A. Dehydration. B. Warm skin. C. Sleepiness. D. Moderate fear. Answer A. Dehydration thickens blood, making capillary sampling unreliable. The ideal angle for needle insertion in pediatric venipuncture is A. 45 degrees. B. 30 degrees. C. 15 degrees. D. 60 degrees. Answer C. A shallow angle minimizes risk of vein transfixation in small vessels. A microcollection tube should be filled A. Only halfway. B. To the marked line. C. Until blood stops flowing. D. To the top without limit. Answer B. Overfilling or underfilling distorts blood-to additive ratio and invalidates results. During blood collection, if the child suddenly faints, the phlebotomist should A. Continue quickly. B. Secure sample and ignore. C. Stop procedure and position child safely. D. Ask parent to wake them. Answer C. Safety comes first. Fainting requires immediate support and monitoring. In neonates, excessive squeezing of the heel may lead to A. Hemolysis and tissue fluid contamination. B. Faster blood flow. C. Higher sample volume. D. More accurate results. Answer A. Pressure damages red cells and dilutes the sample with tissue fluids. The primary reason for using a butterfly set in pediatric draws is A. Speed. B. Better control and comfort. C. Larger sample volume. D. Lower cost. Answer B. Butterfly sets provide stability and reduce vein trauma during collection. When identifying a pediatric patient, you must verify A. Parent's name only. B. Child's full name and date of birth. C. Room number. D. Wristband color only. Answer B. Proper ID prevents specimen mix-ups and ensures patient safety. Pediatric venipuncture is avoided in the hand if A. Veins are visible. B. 4 lines are present. C. Child is calm. D. Small volume needed. Answer B. Blood drawn near 4 lines risks contamination with 4 fluids. A phlebotomist must never draw from the foot of a child. A. Over 10 years. B. Under 1 year. C. Under 2 years. D. With diabetes. Answer D. Foot punctures in diabetic children increase infection risk due to poor circulation. To ensure accurate capillary hematology results, the child's hand or heel must be A. Cool and dry. B. Warm and relaxed. C. Compressed firmly. D. Elevated. Answer B. Warming dilates capillaries, increasing blood flow and sample accuracy. A hemolyzed pediatric sample appears A. Pale and clear. B. Pink or red. C. Yellow and foamy. D. Dark and clotted. Answer B. Pink discoloration indicates red cell destruction, invalidating many tests. If a 4-year-old refuses blood draw, the phlebotomist should A. Forcefully restrain. B. Use distraction or reward technique. C. Threaten punishment. D. Proceed silently. Answer B. Positive distraction techniques help gain cooperation ethically. A lancet with 2.0 mm depth is acceptable for A. Premature neonates. B. Term newborns only. C. Children older than 1 year. D. All infants. Answer C. 2.0 mm is safe for children over 1 year. Premature infants require smaller depth. The main reason for rejecting a microcollection specimen is A. Slight clotting. B. Correct volume. C. Proper labeling. D. Sealed tube. Answer A. Even small clots can alter cell counts and render the specimen invalid. Which of the following may cause sample dilution in an infant? A. Crying. B. Sweating. C. Edema at puncture site. D. Movement during draw. Answer C. Fluid from swollen tissue mixes with capillary blood, diluting the sample. Which action is correct after heel stick completion? A. Apply adhesive bandage immediately. B. Hold gentle pressure with gauze until bleeding stops. C. Leave site open. D. Repuncture same area for confirmation. Answer B. Light pressure prevents bruising and promotes hemostasis without irritation. C. To prevent iatrogenic anemia in hospitalized children, phlebotomists should A. Collect smaller volumes. B. Perform daily tests regardless. C. Use larger tubes. D. Avoid warming. Answer A. Repeated draws can cause blood loss. Minimal volume ensures safety. The correct position for infant heel puncture is A. Heel above heart. B. Heel lower than heart. C. Sitting upright. D. Standing position. Answer B. Keeping the heel below heart level enhances venous flow and collection. The preferred antiseptic for neonatal blood collection is A. Iodine. B. 70% isopropyl alcohol. C. Chlorhexidine gluconate, 0.5%. D. Hydrogen peroxide. Answer C. Low-concentration chlorhexidine is effective and gentle for neonatal skin. Pediatric venipuncture on the scalp requires A. Vein visualization and stabilization. B. Fast insertion without support. C. Larger gauge needle. D. Alcohol-free prep. Answer A. Scalp veins are fragile and must be visualized carefully before puncture. The best way to label a pediatric specimen is A. After leaving the room. B. Before collection. C. Immediately after collection, at bedside. D. On the transport rack. Answer C. Labeling at bedside prevents identification errors. During pediatric venipuncture, the tourniquet should be applied for no longer than A. 30 seconds. B. 1 minute. C. 2 minutes. D. 3 minutes. Answer B. Prolonged tourniquet use causes hemoconcentration and tissue damage. Capillary tubes must be mixed gently because A. Vigorous shaking causes hemolysis. B. Gentle mixing removes clots faster. C. It improves cell distribution. D. It activates anticoagulant. Answer A. Excessive shaking breaks red cells, altering results. Pediatric blood culture volume should be A. 10 milliliters, B. 5 milliliters, C. 1 to 2 milliliters, D. 8 to 10 milliliters. Answer: C. Small volumes reduce blood loss and maintain accuracy for culture growth. When collecting bilirubin from a neonate, you must A. Use amber-colored microtube, B. Leave tube in sunlight, C. Add alcohol preservative, D. Store at room temperature. Answer: A. Bilirubin is light-sensitive. Amber tubes protect from photodegradation. To minimize sample clotting in microtubes, the phlebotomist should A. Mix tube immediately after filling, B. Wait 5 minutes before mixing, C. Store upright without mixing, D. Fill tube halfway. Answer: A. Immediate gentle inversion ensures anticoagulant mixes properly with blood. The most effective way to reduce pediatric phlebotomy errors is A. Rushing to complete procedure, B. Following strict identification and volume protocols, C. Using only adult-sized equipment, D. Ignoring minor crying. Answer: B. Proper ID and sample volume compliance ensure accuracy and patient safety.